All right. Welcome everybody to our WoW Wednesday testimonial call with everything to do with Solex. And everything that you see on the screen is anything that you can bring up about a testimonial. Maybe you're using the Solex Gold and you absolutely love it. You're seeing different changes on your scan results. Or maybe you are new to this call. My name is Tammy Ward. Dr. Sheila Day is my co-host, and this call is designed to bring interested ones on that maybe want to discover what Solex is about. Also, to have ones that are using the products on a regular basis to come on, share their testimonial so people know what we have to offer. So, if you are new here or if you've been invited by somebody, please, after the call, if you're interested in knowing more, follow up with that person that invited you to this call. It's very important that you follow up with them. Um, and I'm going to say the disclaimer, and then I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Sheila to say something. But our disclaimer is that AO scan technology is not a medical device. It is not a diagnostic device. It is merely educational. The statements and anything that we share here tonight have not been evaluated by the FDA. If you are sick, please go consult with your healthcare provider or your professional physician. With that being said, anything that you see on the screen, you can talk about. And Dr. Sheila, I'll leave it to you to open up with your comments.
Yep. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Tammy. And we just want to continue to express how grateful we are that you all come to this call. We know life is busy. We are all busy, and it's not convenient, but it is important. We've been doing this since January, the first week of January, or maybe the second week of 2023. So we're in our second year. Even if we just talked about the scanner, we would be learning something different every single week. But Solex continues to bring so many awesome things to us to share. So this is powerful for people that are just kind of checking things out, but as well as those of us that have been using it. I mean, Tammy and I have been using this for quite some time, but we are still learning something every single week from those of you that show up and share your experiences. So please share with us. You may think that it's insignificant, but it could really spark something in someone else or make them remember something. So please share.
Please do. And the way this call works is we merely open it up. It's really casual here. I know that it is recorded, but honestly, if you don't share, nobody learns what we're doing. So if you'll just unmute yourself or raise your hand if you want to be next, I will message you and just say, come on and share. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share right away?
Belinda,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
because you may need to go
Uh,
to bed.
no. I want to share. This is what Yvonne Lammers, my upline as research, and how important the miasms, the detox of the miasms are, and the sea salts and the no salts, and all of that together um, uh, remove so much illness from our body, and we don't know about that so much. And when we put all together, I give a story yesterday. I had research about the illness of Cushing, and I had prednisone, and my body was screaming, no, no, no. But I need to know if I have that or not. For one day, the prednisone, and yesterday I was very bad, very, very, very bad. And I was talking to Yvonne, and she says, you have to do the miasms, the sea salts, and the vitamin. And and I was running my scan and optimize every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes. And I was in about a half hour later, I was totally fine.
Wow.
Only the miasms, sea salts, all of them, and the vitamin and minerals.
Wow.
And that is amazing, because when we can reach that, what can we not?
Exactly.
Man, that is powerful. Thank you so much, because those are some things that we don't always tend to look at, is miasms and the cell salts. And I mean, there's a lot of practitioners that practice just with cell salts for everything that they
Yes,
work with. Powerful. Thank you for that reminder and sharing your story.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm glad to do. And thank you for all your stories and everything. I'm so, so grateful that I am a part of here, and that we can share this in Holland too. And I figured something out, and some members of our group, uh, they had the same connection. We are connecting the dots when we go all over the world. We are connecting with all the energies and all the frequencies, and then we pull up whole humanity. That is the whole
Absolutely.
story. Yeah,
Yep. You're right on.
yeah. I ooh, and that is amazing, amazing. And we are going. Yeah, we are going. We are going to do that. And
Yes,
thank
we
you.
are.
Yes. Mwah.
I can tell you, I love this lady's passion. She's reaching so many people. She is so passionate about this technology and how it can help people. And she has such a heart for humanity. I just love her to pieces.
I can
Yeah,
tell
I
too
love you
because I've
too.
I've watched her post. So she is an amazing human. We have some amazing humans on our team. I want to welcome Michelle and Sandy and Dr. Daryl. Dr. Daryl, you've been
Hello.
missed. Yeah. But anyway, we welcome all of you. And the since you're kind of late coming in, just unmute if you have anything you'd like to share. We'd love to hear from you. Anybody else like to share anything? Anybody?
I can share something.
Okay, go for it, Marissa.
So I've really taken an interest and gotten a kick out of the Australian bushflower remedies. Um, it's been an incredibly stressful year and a half for my family, family dynamics. Like when I say stressful, to put it into perspective, like my kids were kidnapped by another family member. So my stress has been through the roof. Like not sleeping, anxiety, you can imagine all the stuff that goes along with it. So I've been running scans, but I've also been studying the flower remedies and just imprinting the pellets for that. And like I don't feel the stress and anxiety like I was. I've been sleeping through the night. I can hold down a conversation, and my brain is not constantly on this issue with my children. I can think about other things and go about work. And so it's just been really good to have that extra emotional support.
Wow,
Mm.
that's incredible. Thank you for sharing. I know the bush flowers they're very powerful. They're very powerful. And I wish I knew more about them. I haven't had time to really study them yet, but I have the book on it, so I look forward to it. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. And I am so sorry you have gone through that. That's terrible to know that you've been that stressed out this past year and a half. So hopefully things go better for you and your family. We'll keep you in our prayers.
Yeah, that's some serious stress.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm stressed out just imagining that happening to me.
Yeah. I don't think I could do it. All right. Anybody else like to share anything?
I just wanted to mention this isn't one of our products, but kind of, the little remedy that the kind lady gave us in Australia for the
Yeah.
travel. Oh my gosh, I've been using that for sleep. It's
Oh,
amazing. I'm going to order more. It's so good. Yeah.
I wonder if Scott I know has troubles with sleep, and that's sitting on my counter in the
Use it, put it
bathroom.
on your wrists. I put it down my mastoids, maybe right here up on the head and right behind my skull.
So Scott, you'll need to try that. See if that
Oh,
helps.
it's really good.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right. Anybody else have any?
Belinda's got some playlists here in this chat for anybody that's interested.
Oh, good. Thank you, Belinda. Appreciate that. I was like, who's taking
Oh,
pictures? Or
great idea.
yeah.
I
What?
didn't think to do this.
What? Put them in the chat?
To put them in a playlist.
Yeah. 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 Those are really good. Like
See, I need these calls.
I've got the cell salts all in a playlist, and that's what I've been using for, and I've been still broadcasting that. Of course, I had a conversation with Dr. Sheila, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, your energy sounds so much better." And I went, "I feel like I'm actually healing now." So this
Yeah.
I still have a couple of little tender spots back there, but overall, I mean, that cell salt list is helping. And then I added another little thing that I think has really helped me turn a corner, but that doesn't have anything to do with Solex, so I'm not going to even discuss it. But it, when you have so many tools, you just use whatever you have. Um, but it has been incredible. I know that cell salt list has really helped me. So, anybody else like to share anything?
See,
I
this
was
is why
just
I
gonna
love it when people share because they might think this is common sense, but to me, I'm like, geez, I didn't think to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Go ahead, Sandy. Welcome.
Oh, I was just gonna thank you. Sorry, I was kind of on the fly here and just
Yeah.
pulled over so I could get on the
Okay.
call. But yeah, I just wanted to echo cell salts. I also made a playlist with all the cell salts because I've been a fan of cell salts for a long time and the bioplasma, and then some individual ones that I've used a lot in my practice and then personally. So yeah, it was a few weeks ago somebody mentioned doing a playlist with the cell salts, and I was like, okay, why didn't I think of that? But it was so good. Somebody mentioned at one time not being able to find bioplasma anymore. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard somebody mention that. So I was really glad to know that we have the option
Yeah.
of doing the playlist. Another one that helps me a lot with sleep, and I've used it for a long time, just carrying the homeopathic with me, is coffee accruta. That one has helped a lot because it's kind of that monkey brain, like when your brain won't slow down enough to go to sleep. And that tends to be my issue if I have sleep issues. So I, for years when I travel, have been taking coffee accruta with me always. But knowing that we now, have it in our scanner and can use it from there is a really, really cool thing.
Yeah. That particular remedy is also amazing for your ADHD kids
Mm-hmm.
or people that
Yeah.
anybody that suffers with that is an amazing remedy. I
Yeah.
know I had a nephew that he oh my gosh, he was so high strung. And I gave my best friend, I said, Sherry, here you go. He needs this and he needs to be taking that, a couple hours before bedtime to get him wound down. They did that routine for years and he was able to, really calm down, go to sleep and have the best sleep at night. So thank you, Sandy, for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Another thing that I would just mention, since you mentioned ADHD, and this is just something I've observed, but I have a few people over the years who something that calms everybody else down hops them up.
Yes.
Okay. And normally it is somebody either with that diagnosis or with those tendencies. For instance, peace and calming, the essential oil blend, which most people find really calming. There are certain people that it just, I mean, it makes their anxiety and everything go up. And so the way I describe it is like you have some people who'll take Benadryl and it'll knock them out. And then there are other people who'll take Benadryl and it'll hop them up.
That's me.
So, so yeah, everything doesn't work the same on everybody. So like we have to understand we're not cookie cutters, but it took me a little while to figure out that connection as to why certain things that would normally be calming for some people, it hops them up. So just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. That is so true because I'm that person. You know, I can take a sedative and I'm usually just like, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? Clean the
Yeah,
house.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Well, at least people know that they're not the only person in the world that that happens to. Apparently, that is something that's fairly common.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. All right. Anybody else like to share anything? Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
I'll give you guys an update on my vendor show last weekend.
Yes.
Oh,
please.
yes.
I made it. I survived. I didn't,
Woo!
it was, it's in a rural town about 45, 50 minutes away from me. And there was a Packer game going on that day. So it, Packers and Bears, it was a very low key, not a lot of people. I would say under 100 people. So, I mean, people came. But it definitely was the right event to be at because more vendors were interested than the people that went through. So I had quite a few conversations with several of the vendors and as I say, like my kind of people. I mean, the lady that did it was a psychic, and we started the show with a little circle. She did some drumming, some bowls, and just kind of set the tone and basically, you know, said, if you're here, you're meant to be here. So set the tone that way. And I was like, okay, yeah. And she's like, and I had several people not come and they weren't supposed to be here. So if you're here, you're meant to be here. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. And so that was just amazing to be in a room with that. The energy was amazing. There was some fun interest in, you know, common folk, as I would say, that were like, oh, wow, does what? So what I did was I had the foot detox. So I had them, we did a set up the profile and did an easy scan. And while they were doing the foot detox for 10 minutes, I went over their scan and what to look for. You're going to get 3 emails. I kind of went over everything and just gave them a basic talk about what they're going to see, that it's not a diagnostic tool, that it's just information, snapshot in time. And yeah, I just was telling Michael that I had one of the ladies whose husband is a chiropractor and she owns a hemp store. She just reached out to me like, okay, we need to connect again. And she noticed on the foot detox, she's got some stomach issues and some liver issues and stuff like that. She goes, I really felt things moving, and it was just 10 minutes. So granted, we did an easy scan and the foot detox. And then a couple other ladies noticed just circulation. It was really cold and damp that day. And they were like, wow, that really, you know, heated me up. And people were noticing just in the 10 minutes, it moving up their legs up into like the thigh area. But overall, it was, yeah, a pretty good event. I'm glad it was and how it turned out to be how it turned out, because it wasn't overly busy. At one point, Shannon Ruland was helping me too. So she was doing an easy scan on a couple ladies and we were kind of just moving it through. So I was glad it wasn't any busier because it's, you know, it's not just this is the pen, it writes kind of conversation, but it turned out very well. So
Nice. Thank you.
And congratulations, way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing we have that I have not seen any other company. What Lauren calls a waistband, I call it a torso belt. That thing covers your whole torso, and it is doing some serious work. No other device has that.
Mhm.
do we know why everybody would ask me why you don't feel it in the back and just the front?
Well, if you notice the pad, you can notice a difference in the way that that's designed. It's designed to go around the front. You mostly
Right.
got bones in the back.
Okay.
So it's going through the front there where there's more access.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, interesting. We've been wearing it on the back, so I guess we need to switch it around to the front.
Ah,
Yeah, because Scott, I thought he heard and I've been listening to him. He goes, put it in the back. I'm like, okay, I'll put it in the back.
okay.
I'm not saying there's a wrong way.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's where we've been putting it is on the back. So where did you hear
So
it,
the
babe?
kidneys are going to get good kidneys and maybe adrenals, but there's a lot more bone back there. So up front here, we've got a little more, going right through the bone it's not always real effective. But if we can
Right.
go, in there where there's no bones, you're going to get a little deeper penetration.
Well, and I got lots of adipose tissue right there in the front. So
I just know it feels amazing. That thing is amazing.
it is. We've been making sure to do that every morning for 30 minutes, and I've worked up to level 6. I don't know where Scott's at, but this
Wow.
morning when I got off of it, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to really feel the effects of it now. So, and it's been, I don't know, 6, 7 days that we've been doing it on a regular. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens with it. Belinda, go ahead, hun.
Yeah, I had a question. Uh, and when we all put our country in the coordinates and we can together all at once running frequencies of peace, health, abundance, joy, happiness around the world, what is happening then? And can we arrange that with all of us?
Oh,
Sure. Absolutely, because I know that I've got Mother Earth in as a place and spaces and objects, and then periodically you'll see some in the Solex group say, "Hey, we really ought to all run frequencies on, the Earth or whatever, and we're going to do it from time 222 to whatever for an hour." And it's really, I mean, if we all get together and do that, you're just helping to raise the vibration of the planet
Yes,
one
yes,
frequency
and
at a time.
that is wonderful. And I have it also in the spaces and objects
Yeah.
because the city where I live is a smart city. They want to
oh,
make it a
Yeah.
smart city, and yeah, we feel a lot of 5G and EMF. I feel when they turning the nou ja, turning it up, and then I have our city in the group, and I running every day the frequencies, and I feel the difference
Mhm.
when I do it and when I forgot it, and that is amazing. And when we all think about it, to do it 1 hour a day, oh my God, what is that doing to the frequency of Earth and the frequency of the people?
I honestly feel like that, maybe that would be something that would be encouraging to do, that we do like, at least at minimum once a month. But if we
Yeah,
could all get together as a group, maybe I put it in the team chat that, hey, we're going to do this from this time to this time, and we can all do it together. And
yeah,
then
that is
Sheila can pass it
wonderful.
on to her chat. But yeah, I agree with you. I do it from time to time, just without even being a part of Solex group or whatever. I just do it just because I feel like we need it. So I think that's
Yes,
a great
I
idea,
do
Belinda.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we'll get going on that. We'll try to make that a goal this year. We'll put it in our chats and our teams and say, hey, let's run it.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe
Very
on
important.
Mondays, since Mondays are the most stressful days of the week. I don't know. That
Yeah,
just popped in my head. So
Well, I think that
that
it
is
would be very
fine.
helpful if we made it a practice and it just became a habit.
yeah,
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 I
I
agree.
think so too. Thank you.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
Yes. All right. Anybody else like to share anything?
Well, I'm just going to share something really quick. So I think I shared last week, I just started my very first Cephi group ever.
How's it going?
I've had kind of a resistance to it. And even on a coaching call I did a couple weeks ago, we're talking about the signature program I've got in mind. She's talking about coaching and this group coaching. I'm like, I don't want to do group coaching. I don't know. I just had a negative vibe about it. But God hit me hard like 3 days before the first of the year. And he said, you've got to do this. It's going into something else. And I'm telling you what, my freaking soul is being so blessed by just a few little people and the results that they're getting, the things that they're sharing. And I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And I want to do this.
Yep.
I'm so glad I started it.
I'm so glad you did too, because it does. I know that when I've done it a couple of times, I've only had a few people too. I've not had masses like Dave and Becky has, but just what we've done, it has been very beneficial. And if you can do it, get out there and do it, everybody. Even if
You
it's
just have,
one or two, you
yeah,
know?
you have no idea how it's going to impact other people. And it's the little, for me, I knew the group was supposed to be small and intimate because of the things that some people are dealing with. And I trust God with that with all my heart. And every day they tell me thank you. And I'm like, wow, this is a huge service.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is. It is very much so. All right. Anybody else like to share anything?
I would like to ask a question if I may.
Yes, go for it.
First of all, hello everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Um, so I don't have my mat yet. And I've
Ah,
asked this question a few times, and for some reason, I think I'm either asking it wrong or people are hearing the question wrong. So I'm going to try to ask it again if anyone here has their mat. I have 3 different types of PEMF devices. And some of the PEMF devices are subsensory, and one of them is just not. It's a thing you have to be careful. You have to watch how high you turn it up because it can get very annoying. I didn't get a chance to lay on it at Day of Discovery, and I'm wondering if the Infinity Mat is subsensory, where you don't really feel it, you just feel the heat and the infrared, or if you can actually feel the magnetic field moving around, or is it that the really sensitive people can feel it moving around? Because some of the PEMF mats, whether you're sensitive or not, you're going to feel it. I would just love to know from anybody who has the mat, just the answer to that question, because I keep getting other answers to other questions that I'm not asking.
well, I see Tammy saying no and Dave saying yes.
Okay. All right.
And I don't feel it. Scott, do you feel it when you're laying on it? I feel just the heat. And
Mhm.
That I
I
feel
feel,
just the heat as well.
yeah, and I feel just a calmness and a peacefulness whenever I lay on it, and just I don't know, it's almost like I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like a blissful feeling. What is it? For me.
Daryl, with the ones that you feel, so I've only experimented with Beamer and I don't think I've laid on anything else, but I didn't experience anything with Beamer at all.
Yeah.
What I
I've heard
experienced,
other people say that, and the Beamer, it freaked me out because I've only ever been on it one time, but I felt it so strongly that I almost bought it.
wow. See, I
Right
felt
then and there, I almost bought
nothing.
it.
Wow. But with the Infinity Mat, I may or may not be feeling that traveling. Maybe I don't know what I'm feeling. I just know that, like Tammy's saying, it is such a relaxing, comforting feeling of energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's traveling PEMF or not.
I do want to say really quickly, Becky did tell me that she can feel it. However, Becky is one of those people I think can feel energy. So her answer almost doesn't count because I think that her energy field is strong enough that her feeling it may mean that she might be the only one. Like other people still might not.
Daryl,
Because you can't.
Hey, Daryl,
Yes.
the mat comes with this little plastic thingy with a little magnet in it or something.
Mm.
So if you lay it on the mat, it'll actually start bouncing around on the different segments and
Oh,
quadrants of the
it
mat.
comes with it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know it
Oh,
came
that's-
with
Yeah,
it.
it'll bounce all around the mat because you can see it's like the top part will turn on, then the bottom turns on, then the middle turns on, depending on how you have it configured.
Okay.
So I can feel it because I get tingling.
Right.
Maybe I'm just sensitive to stuff.
I think you
The
are.
little thing, the little magnet thing, it'll start bouncing and vibrating all over the mat.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Daryl,
Yes.
my
Thank you.
husband will get on the mat,
Mhm.
and he said the very, very, very first time he got on it, he can feel his pulse syncing up from his head to his toes, and it's just a thrum, thrum, thrum. So, and he's not a sensitive, and he's not really in the natural health realm.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he's very trained allopathically, and he got on it. First time he got off, he said, "Oh yeah, no, I want that. That was awesome." So he does feel it, and there is a sensation. I'm like Becky. I can feel the different sections, and the magnet will vibrate, and it's like, oh yeah, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, good, just move there. Okay.
Wow.
Cool. All right. Well, these are clear answers. So thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Glad that helped.
Thanks for asking. That was a great conversation.
It was. Love that mat. That mat's amazing. Of course, I got the first. I didn't get one of the AO Infinity mats. I've got one of the energy mats. So we didn't get the magnet, did we, Dr. Sheila?
No.
Now we're gonna have to buy another AO Infinity mat just so we can get the magnet.
Well,
You
I
just
just
buy a
got my
magnet.
30% coupon today and had to buy another foot detox because I loaned mine to a family member that needed it, and I miss mine.
Yeah.
I need more mats too.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anybody else like to share? Go ahead, babe.
Okay, I'll share. Yeah, I've been with my morning routine and self care. I've been incorporating the Mind Sync, and I've always been one to not like hearing myself on anything. And I've noticed since I've been doing the Mind Sync, like even like right now, I can hear my voice reverberating through the house, and it doesn't bother me like it was prior to that. So it's having an effect on me. And also I noticed that it just kind of peps me up for the day. It just subconsciously, I guess. And it's really really neat, the effects that it's having. And on
So-
the mat, and I mean not the mat but the foot detox and the strap going around you, I like it in the back because of the vibration on my back. But I think it feels great. So I don't know what the proper way is to wear it.
Well, I know from someone that doesn't live with you and hear your voice all the time, your voice is changing. That's what happened to me too.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I can testify because I have there's been a little bit I said get after your self-care. You need that you need to listen to your mind sync. You need to listen to your tones, and you need to wear your glasses. Well, he's been doing that. He has been doing that even with his inner voice, and I think that too is having an impact because when I got started, I was suicidal. I've told you guys this story over and over, and I listened to that inner voice 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day for the first, 3 months. And then had Scott come to me and go, "What are you doing?" So it has an impact if you guys will just use it and wear your glasses.
Yes. Yes. I'm listening to, and I don't know if I mentioned this last week, it was so timely, but I'm listening to Joe Dispenza's Become Supernatural. If y'all do Audible, there's no way I could read it. It's huge. but I have 2.5 hours a day that I'm driving and I need to listen. So, but it's bringing together everything that Lauren has been doing with the scanner and the mind sync and the inner voice, all of that. Joe Dispenza has done clinical research and trials for decades, proving all of this. And Lauren's got it all in our scanner.
He does. We have the best. We are just so blessed.
I know.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else like to share anything?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi there.
Cynthia?
Yep.
Yes, it is I. I had to do a list because I actually had a lot to share this week. I've had a busy week.
Yay.
But one, my husband, I don't know, he was on his way. He's recently been in an accident. So he just texted me that he was having some pain in his knee. And so I went ahead and I ran, just did the Cephi for him and broadcasted. By the time he made it home, because he was in the car on his way home, and he was like, "Did you do it?" I was like, "I did." And he was like, "It feels so much better." And he just went on about his day. So I'm like, "Okay, awesome." Then my friend asked me, because we have this homeschool co-op, and she asked if I could run what I ran for her son before, which was like confidence, because her son and my son, they, it was too many people. They kind of have anxiety. They don't really want to engage, but she asked me, "Can you turn it down?" I said, "There's no turning down," because I did it at home on my computer so it could just play continuously. And when I tell you, those boys were like top of the class and engaging and all over the place. And she just kept asking me, I'm like, I can't turn it down. But then we tried it again on Sunday for my son because he was just all over the place. Once again, I'm like, oh. And so I ran the sleep one for him. And for some reason, my husband was like, "Did you run it for him?" Because it worked for every child in the row. And behind us, they were knocked out. But my kid we could say he was yawning. He was fighting it so hard. He would not receive that sleep. He would not receive the focus. And I was like, oh, they do have to be open to receive it. But it's as if my husband was like, every child in the row was knocked out. I mean, snoring very hard and loud, but my child was fighting it. So that didn't happen. I ran it for one of my friends. I know I had a list. So, and she had to go to the hospital. And I was running and optimizing, and it came up on the scanner about pinched nerve, and it was something with her sciatic, and all of that came up. But then they gave her medication, so that's what she's doing. And I also let her borrow my watch, to let her use that. And I told her you just have to keep doing it. I shared it with my job because I'm a part of a group therapy practice. And I've just been using it. So at this time, I actually invited individuals to it. And a few people have been reaching out. So I've done a demonstration for 2 people at the job. And they were like, "This is 100% spot on." So I'll do some follow-ups, and I have a few more people that we've set appointments to meet and do a demonstration and get their free inner voice on Thursday. And then I did go ham, Dr. Sheila, when it came to the Cephi groups. I was looking up and going through and looking for everything that I can find on it. So I've started to already build Cephi groups. So now I just have to do the advertisement and put that out there as well. So
wow.
I'm excited about that. But I couldn't even sleep. I was up until like 3 in, like studying on it and creating Cephi groups.
Wow. You are a rock star.
Oh, and my last thing, and I'm sorry for taking so much time, but the last thing was I was telling my husband something that I was like, oh, I haven't done this in a while because I'm still getting my hours for my therapy practice. And I was like, I haven't been running it to my bank account. And my husband was like, that's a little creepy. I was like, well, whatever, I'm gonna do it. He's like, "Isn't it like witchcraft?" I'm like, no, it's not. So I'm just gonna run it. And I did it one day, and the next day I received 2 messages for people that are now looking for therapy. So I was like, look at this. So I am going to, because I always forget. And then when I do run it again, I start to get more clients. So I just wanted to share that.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and I have my planners. Those just came in
Yes.
Monday along with my blog post. So
Yay.
it's a busy week.
Good job. You are rocking it.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Cynthia.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the abundance playlists do work.
Mhm. I don't know if anybody saw my post about my new grandchild that we are having, but I ran the scanner to find out what the sex of the baby was and got female over and over and over, but I never knew what it was going to be. And I only ran it, maybe 4 or 5 times till we knew that she was going to have her ultrasound to get the sex. And then that morning I ran it, and then that evening I ran it, and then I ran it again the day that we were supposed to go to the reveal party, and it came up female bought baby every time. And I thought, okay. So when I went to the party, I put female on my female sticker on there, and of course Scott put boy, because Scott has been sticking with boy ever since. And of course, then they had their old dogs come out with balloons on to tell us what it was, and it was a girl. So our scanner is amazing. So you can even do stuff like that.
I can't wait to try that. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
But it's in my scanner now.
Yeah. And I'm going to do it for Shelby's daughter. She goes the 24th of January to find out what it is. So I've already ran it, and it's saying boy for her daughter. So hopefully when we go, or whenever she messaged me and lets me know, it's a boy. So if it's a boy, Kai is just going to be through the roof. So anyway, anybody else like to share anything? No, it's not a playlist. It's something you do in the scanner. Somebody asked if it was a playlist, or Cynthia did.
Hi, it's Marianne.
Hi, Marianne.
Okay, so this is kind of a long story, but I'll try to really compress it.
That's
Just
okay.
before Christmas, was it before? Yes, it was just before Christmas. My friend, I live on a small island off the coast of Canada, and my friend called me and told me that she had excessive bleeding. She had problems with her monthly cycles, and so anyway, she's the type of person that doesn't reach out unless something's fairly serious. Her husband was gone that day to Vancouver, so he wasn't even around. He had taken a ferry, wasn't home. So I zipped around and went over there real quickly, and I found her laying on the floor hemorrhaging and vomiting.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, it was bad. So we do have a ambulance service here, and so they radioed to the other island, the big island, to have like a ambulance boat to take her over to the hospital. So anyways, got her on that, and I went home and just grabbed an overnight bag, grabbed a ferry, and went to the hospital so I could be support for her because her husband wasn't around. Anyways, eventually he gets there. They had to put 3 bags of blood in her, and she was and she was on IV. It was pretty serious. She's starting to crash, and it happened pretty quickly. And then they gave her, they did what they needed to do. And a couple days later, she wanted to come home. And, I'm just going to say this, that the quality of our care in Canada and our hospitals sucks. It's terrible. And it's sad. And it's just kind of the state of way things are. And so you want to get out of the hospital as quick as you can because it's not a good place for you now. Anyways, I'm grateful to them for saving her life. But anyways, so her husband got a hold of me and said, and of course I'm running scans on her on a bunch of different things. And they were not going to let her come home until the pH of her blood, she was very acidic. And also she was anemic, and they wanted all her numbers to come up. Oxygen levels were down. So I came home and I designed a specific, well, I mean, he calls me, I'm at home. So I designed a specific playlist for her and played it nonstop, just let it go. And the next day they released her and she was able to come home.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
I know. And usually you don't have results that quickly. And I just have to say that, what we have is amazing. Now, I had put her on the methylene blue before. So, you know, she'd had that support too already. But anyways, yeah, that's my story. And, you know, it can be life changing and life saving, and you just never know. And since then, she's had more surgery, and the scans have been very beneficial to her. So, anyways, I'm grateful, and I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Wow.
Thank
My
you.
gosh.
Dr. Sheila and I both, wow.
I
Belinda,
know.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
All is about wow.
Thank you, Marianne.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for helping her.
No kidding. See, this is, guys, everybody you know needs this because they can use it to help in so many situations. We need this in every household.
We do. We certainly do. Anybody else?
Six minutes.
Mhm. Anybody else like to share anything? Hi, Naraya.
I got my little thing, so I'm hands free. I have a young man who has a lot of issues, and they thought that it was Lyme's. Well, he was diagnosed with Lyme's. And so in trade, I've been doing a scan for him because I don't have like blood work I'm doing, other tests that I'm having for myself. So since he is having it, I said, well, I'll run a scan for you to give me a copy of like your results, and you know, redact your information, your name and what. And that way I can show people what the scan said, and then what you went and had your blood work done. So we can, you know, have same day within the hour type comparison. So he's like, okay. So he's had 3 scans so far, and he's very analytical, and he likes to research a lot of things. And this man is very impressed with how accurate the scan is. So this is, like I said, I don't personally have a lot of issues. So he has a number of issues, and it was the information he was being provided by the doctors was taking him down a completely different, might want to say, road. And the scanner has told him, like, no, it's not Lyme's, it's mold. And that is completely different. And now he's feeling like he's getting more progress and more positive hits in regards to what he's doing, how he's going about doing what he wants to do, and having a clearer picture. And granted, things don't change overnight. He is feeling a great deal more comfortable and confident that the scanner is really giving him a more accurate way for him to go versus a bunch of hit and miss and they don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's been really encouraging for, you know, for someone who's had a lot of issues and not really getting anywhere for quite some time, to feel like kind of turning the corner.
Wow. Nice. Thank you. Thank
That
you.
is important. I was on a webinar last night, I think, with Des Bio, and Dr. Zeb was talking about, you know, the long hauler COVID and the overlapping with EBV and Lyme. There's just so many things that overlap, and that's why people, you know, they get conflicting information. Practitioners are actually doing the best they're trained, but the scanner is going to tell you exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, it will. I'll share something real quick. My older son called, I think it was yesterday morning, telling me that he had some stomach problems. I ran a scan on him, and one of the things that I noticed was the stomach lining was a 99. And and it had a fancy little term on there. So I looked up the term of the actual piece of the cross part of the stomach, and it was the stomach lining, and it led me to believe that it was probably ulcers that could be possibly causing him issues. He's been dealing with it for about 2.5 weeks. Well, his stress levels real high. Well, then Mama called me a little bit later. Not his mom, but Samuel's mommy called me and said, hey, Samuel's got lots of drooling going on. We took him to a neurologist. They're saying he's got lack of muscle tone, this, that, and the other. And so I did a scan on the entire family. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because with the drooling and everything, and with what Skylar was dealing with, and there was some other things that were going on too, And it's something that I've noticed on their past scans, but black mold is consistent on all 4 of them, every one of them. So I called Skylar up today and I said, look, I said, you guys are dealing, I think, with some black mold in the house somewhere, some wet areas. Go check them all out because he's into construction. I said, if you need help, your dad will come over and help you to find wherever this is at. I said, but I think that that might be some of the problem why Samuel's doing all this drooling. You're having the breathing issues. Mama's having all this fatigue going on. And then Maddie even is presenting some signs. So I don't know if that's all the issue, but I think that that is a beginning issue. And if I can prove to them that, hey, the scanner is even picking up on that, and then they get it cleaned up, and then they start seeing some health things go up instead of continuing down, then, you know, our scanner is such a helpful educational tool. But also all the milk and dairy markers showed up for Samuel too. And of course, I told Mom, I said, you've got to get him off that dairy again. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. Be looking at everything when someone comes to you and they say, hey, I'm having this X, Y, and Z. It could be something as simple as black mold. So really watch that and maybe scan the entire family. So that is the reason why I did that. But I just want to share that kind of aside. It's a little bit deeper of a thing, but it is something that I think everybody needs to know about.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we are 1 minute away from the Solex call, and I think we will close here. We cannot thank you enough for each one of you being here tonight. This was an incredible call once again. Every one of them are incredible, and I thank you. And again, please follow up with the person that invited you here if you are new here and this is your first time. And Dr. Sheila, would you like to close with something?
Yep, we just want to express how grateful we are because this call's not possible without you, and we don't learn without you. I mean, every single week. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to do this. We love you so much.
Yes, we do. Love you. Good night. Go see the Solex.